Go see a psych. Here's a medication. Take this fucking thing that's gonna make your dick not work for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
It's because our attention span is just completely fucked at the moment because of social media and stuff.
We have to make 30-second songs now.
But okay, some exciting things are happening for Meyer Lore though.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
You like Silent Hill 2 as well?
Yeah. That's my shit.
That's my shit. Hell yeah. It's like you're the Leonardo DiCaprio of vocals. You know, obviously Overpass seems to be one of those pivotal songs talking about this premonition.
It was definitely something that was like catastrophic to like my soul and my emotions. You know, I still struggle every day with like mental health.
Dude, I'm trying to understand the mind of Dan Watson over here.
You trying to take your shirt off right now? Let's go.
Yeah, let's take our shirts off. Guys, welcome to episode 2 of the METALBIRB podcast, and I'm so excited to have what I think is one of the best vocalists in the scene at the moment, and someone who's, seriously, who's been around for more than a decade. You know him as being the former vocalist to Infinite Annihilator and Enterprise Earth, and now the founding member to his project, Meyer Lore. This dude is an absolute monster behind the mic, and I'm so excited to get to know him. And clearly, it's Dan Watson. Dan, how is it going, bro?
That's good. I want to bless you with my middle name, Eugene.
Eugene?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so fucking metal.
That way we can... Yeah, you don't have to... I mean, he said all those really nice things about me and said like 10 years of this, stuff like that, but it's like, now you know my middle name.
There we go.
And we're just chilling.
Yeah, my middle name is METALBIRB. Like, my name is METALBIRB.
Really?
METALBIRB.
MELBIRB.
Just first name, last name, and middle name is all METALBIRB.
Oh, I thought your real middle name was MELBIRB.
No.
No.
It's funny because like a lot of people don't know my real name, and it's kind of like an ongoing joke. But little secret for those that watch my channel and stuff: if you donate to me on PayPal, on Twitch, you can find my real name. So the only way to know my real name is to give me money.
What the fuck? I could have done that the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just giving my middle name out.
Yeah, dude. Kind of missing out on that. But seriously,
have you sold your name?
Sold my name?
To people?
Can you do that? Can you sell a name?
Well, I thought that's what you're doing.
Well, it unintentionally happened because like my PayPal, I can't put my name as METALBIRB, so it uses my real credentials. So people just find my name that way, and I don't know how to fix it. So it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but they only get it when they're paying you for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I think it works out. But dude, how does it feel? Okay, I'm gonna blow some more smoke up your ass. But how does it feel to be part of one of the best records of the year and one of the best EPs of the year?
I don't know. I've just been chilling. I mean, it's for some people, it's like, yeah, you fucking suck. And usually that speaks louder to me than people that like cherish something that I've done. So, you saying that is fucking awesome. So fuck yeah.
Dude, the negative comments always like somehow like, I don't know, they're so much louder than the positivity. Like even in my videos, like, you know, I get like usually positive comments and then I got one negative one and then I'm like, you fucking little bastard. But like,
dude, sometimes they just get it so right though. It's like they'll post a comment and it'll be something that's so right. They're like, at fucking 6 minutes and 36 seconds, you fucking could have done better.
what?
And I'm just like, you're so fucking right.
Dude, okay, well, there's some valid criticism for sure, but I don't know. I feel like some people, they definitely act way too entitled on the internet. They expect you to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, dude. It's your art, and you should just kind of put it out the way that you like want to put it out, right? And like, you know,
right.
I get my criticism too, but like, dude, I don't know how much of videos you watch mine, but like, I'm always like very straightforward with my opinions. Like, if I don't love a song, I'll try to explain why. But when it comes to your music, like legit, I do think it is top like tier deathcore, especially this year. Holy crap! The Chosen was so good. Meyer Lore, like Ashen Memories. When I first did the video for that song, you asked me to check it out too, and I checked it out. I'm like, oh yeah, this is sick. But I didn't like necessarily love it. But then after some time, I started like blasting it at the gym, and I saw like Galactic Criminal react to it, and he loved it. And then it just made me love the song even more. And now I fucking love that song. And then I think Black Box is what it's called, the final track on that EP.
Yeah. The final one.
Yeah, that song's a banger too. Like you.
I think with the EP and that record too, the Enterprise record, it was one that I think a lot of people were caught off guard by at first, and then they either hated it or they put it to the side, and then a lot of people just kept listening to it because they were stuck. Like they were stuck with it. They were just like, "Fuck, I gotta listen to it again." And that was the same way with me. Like when I actually like tracked the vocals and like spent a lot of time on writing it and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I have songs on The Chosen where I fucking hate those songs, but there's like a lot of songs where I was stuck listening to after too, because there were songs that like literally when I wrote them were kind of just like songs that got me through really hard shit, and I got stuck on them and then literally bled into them when I like recorded them and stuff. And then ever since then, it's like when I go back to them and listen to them, like it just gets better and better for me. Like where I'm just like, damn, I actually did kind of kill it.
Yeah.
Even though like I'm like my hardest critic and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, yeah, like if I take my songs and I compare them to people that I respect and that I love, it's like, dude, no comparison. They win all day. It's not a competition. But like they beat me, they destroy me. But it's like, to me, like that record and the EP, both of those were written in like really dark times for me, and they're just something special and unique about them, and the way they were recorded, when they were recorded, and then just like I don't know, just like something about like the translation of like where I was at in my life, and like the microphone picking up like my feelings and my emotions and my performance into the mic and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, no doubt to like Gabe with his guitar writing and stuff like that on The Chosen. Like he's like it was, that record was me and him, just like that. Like it wouldn't be anything without me, or it wouldn't be anything without Gabe. And then with the EP, it was a whole different story with another guitar player I was working with. But yeah, it was just like, dude, like fucking. And the fact that that record and that EP means a lot to people, it means even more to me, because like honestly, like without those two pieces of work, I don't know where the fuck I would be. Because that was like my therapy, that was like my medication, because like that's all I know how to do in life is just write music and
dude,
fucking exist.
This is why I wanted you on the podcast too, because obviously reading through the lyrics, it seems like you're going through some things, and obviously what happened with you leaving Enterprise Earth. I think a lot of us are trying to understand where your head is at and just like get to know you a little bit better. And yeah, you're always going to be your toughest critic, like always. Like I am so guilty of that all the fucking time. Like a whole different kind of aspect, like making content all the time. I'm always like, I can't help myself from comparing to other people, and then also like criticizing and looking at comments and stuff.
But I mean, like, so I will say this is like probably the difference between me and like every vocalist that tapped out and said, fuck that, that's too much. The only difference is that I was my toughest critic all the way through everything. There was that, and on top of that, it was like listening to all the feedback that people gave to me. Most of the time, I was like, yeah, fuck you, you suck. I suck because yeah, you're right. Like, like I suck though because I was like having a hard day, but like I'm always like my toughest critic, and so like there's never like a point where you become like happy with what you're doing, and like you're always striving for something better and something greater, and like to grow and to be better. And so that's the only difference between like probably me and like any other normal person, is that a lot of people, I think, that were to follow a similar path to mine, they would just tap out way sooner than I did, because I went through um, a lot of shit, and I went through a lot of failure, and that's pretty much the only difference. And it's like, dude, I'm still failing at things, and the only like positive I can bring out of anything is that like I was able to write a record or two, or like an EP that like people really value. And but like still, I still struggle every day with like mental health, with um you know monetarily, with my relationships, like everything. I still struggle really really hard, and the only thing that keeps me going is the opportunity to maybe write one more, or something. Like life's fucking shot. But like, to the outside perspective, it's like, even if like I was your fan from the beginning, right? Like I would see your first video, and then I would see you, you know, I don't know, get like a better video camera, a sick background that's purple, and like also you just feeling more comfortable over time, and then you just becoming somebody that like maybe I feel really comfortable watching, because your reactions are like more genuine and stuff like that. But it's like, at the same time, it's like in your head, you might still feel like you're still struggling, to gain any sort of ground, even though like visually and perceptually, people probably think like, oh, you've grown this much, but it's like, dude, you might feel like the same person that started, and you're still hammering yourself the same amount, and you're still like being just as hard as you were in the beginning. You know what I mean? It's like it just never ends. It's like this perpetual cycle of uh, just hardship. Like, like when do you make it, right?
It's just growth too, man. Like I totally know what you mean. Like even right now doing this podcast, like I want to do more and more with it. I want to continue to like I want to make this podcast huge. And like there's always that constant just growth to keep doing better, and it's the grind, and it's just mentally exhausting. And I don't know the failures that you're speaking of, because I don't see it from an outsider's perspective. And maybe it's you just really like thinking about yourself on a very critical level, but also failure is like so fucking important to have. Like failure is what
Oh,
makes us stronger too. So I think like if you value failure in some sort of way and to become like more positive and grow from it, like you're just going to keep becoming more wise.
yeah. So like so if you look at things of like a chart, right? Like a graph, like the the majority of the bulk that pushes you higher, it's all fucking failure. Like it's all fucking failure, and you just keep failing higher. But like I guess like maybe in their perspective, it's like you're failing less, but you're literally just like stepping on the dead bodies of all your past failures. That's all.
Yeah, I know. I've had like shitty jobs that I didn't like, and moving on from that, or relationships with people that I knew weren't benefiting me. That you have to kind of grow from that too. You like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you just kind of learn as a person. Dude, I didn't expect us to be talking about like mental health so early, and I love it because like, seriously, mental health is like fucking huge to me, and I mentioned this on the last podcast, but on my Discord server, within the first week of having it, I put a channel saying like mental health for all like my Discord community to hop on in and vent, and like not everything is just going to be like talking about music and just being happy. Like let's have a place where people can be vulnerable and like help each other. And it was actually really crazy to see the community just blow up in the server and help each other, because like I think we all struggle with it. Even someone like you that from an outsider's perspective, we're all going like, wow, Dan Watson is one of the best vocalists in the scene and stuff. And then people don't really understand like the nuance to what's happening in a person and like putting out that art and stuff. And then obviously you leaving Enterprise Earth and stuff, there's like, okay, there's like, is Dan okay? Like I think that's how I've been kind of like perceiving things from just reading like online, you know. How do you deal with your mental health? Like what steps do you take to improve it?
Um so I think like in the past, like my thing was to just move on, move to the next thing, right? And focus everything into that. Because like I mean, for instance, like so I've been in and out of like local bands and stuff like that when uh like back in the day.
Yeah.
And I would just move on to the next thing and it would fail, or I'd move on to the next thing and like people weren't as like serious as I was, and so I'd move on. Um that was always really easy to me, but I think like the first like real struggle for me was I mean like if you've ever, I'm not, if like when you're in a relationship with like a female, right? Um it's basically like the breakup process. It's like how important is that person to you? How much effort did you put into the relationship? How much um like how much of it destroys you if they betrayed you, whatever. It's really similar, except for like usually it's among, you're in a relationship with like five or four guys, you
Yeah.
know, like really similar in that sense where like um it's just you're just like in this mass relationship, but there's also something different too, and that's the, sorry, my light is,
That's all good, man.
dude, fucking China. My new girlfriend is Chinese, so I need to stop saying stuff about China. Um, but yeah, so it's like this, like, yeah, so it's just like that. It's like it's like a really bad breakup with things that like mean something to you, and usually it's among four or five other guys. But luckily, within a band, there's always that one guy that's like, yeah, he's a piece of shit anyway. It'll be fine when we break up. Like, good riddance. But
Yeah.
um, like for instance, like when I left Enterprise, uh, I mean those are like my best friends, and it was like months and months and months of like like deep pain, and um and it wasn't because any of us wanted it, you know. It was just because that's the way the world was going at the time. um and my first like real painful separation, what, it wasn't even just like painful like with the separation in that aspect, it was like the Infinite Annihilator separation, um where like I was putting a lot of effort and work in between my job into like writing the palpable leprosy of pollution. And I was getting pretty close with the drummer Aaron, and like so I was just putting a lot of effort in. We were getting close, and it was like exciting. We were experiencing something new together. We were like having a lot of fun, like watching people react to stuff, because like we all were in a position where we'd never experienced anything like really successful.
Yeah.
And we like released the single, and it just like popped off, and we were like watching it all together. But like I never spoke to any of them. It was just like me and him were like messaging through Facebook and stuff, and um yeah, it was like really exciting for me at least, and it seemed exciting to him. And then it like fucked me over, and like um just fucked me over a bunch of money and stuff like that. And yeah, it just it was fucked for me, because it was like it was the first like bit of success that I tasted, that where like I wrote this record with them, and I didn't have any intention of like making it big or being famous or having any sort of like clout or whatever that shit means. It was just like a passion project, and it just blew up. And like once it did, then the people I did it with like abandoned me, and fucked me over a bunch of money. And then like I knew about it before they thought I knew about it. So I like Started my YouTube channel immediately because at the time I had like a burner Morgan Freeman fake catfish Facebook profile. Didn't have any social media. So
Okay.
so I made this because I just used it to like communicate with him. I didn't use it for like personal reason.
Okay,
Uh,
gotcha.
so I made like a real profile. I made a real YouTube. Did a bunch of covers on YouTube like as quick as I could. Um, and then like posted it on the Infinite Annihilator account, like Facebook account, and was like, "Hey, this is my shit. Follow me real quick. I'm actually the vocalist," because a lot of people didn't even know that Infinite Annihilator had a vocalist.
Really?
Yeah, yet alone knew that, like, because like in the music video, it looked like they were singing the lyrics and stuff, so they just thought that they were the ones that did the vocals.
Oh, okay.
So I posted a cover and all that stuff, and I was like, "Hey, follow me," and then I was like, "Okay." I quit and posted that, and then like that's pretty much like what I used to start Enterprise Earth was that clout that I got from that. And I started like from nothing, just like literally like here's two covers. I quit, follow my new shit. A year later, started Enterprise with a guy named BJ, and that yeah, dude, that was rough because it was like when I left that, I was like, dude, it's like first of all, I no one knew who I was. Like I was literally fucking Morgan Freeman to like middle aged, like six middle aged women who thought I was actually Morgan Freeman. Like so. Um, yeah, it was scary because like when they fucked me over and shit, I was like, dude, I have no power. I have no control over my life. Like they can fuck me over because I have nothing. And so that's when I realized that I had to like do social media and I had to gain like some sort of power, like self power, I guess you can call it, or like if you perceive it that way, it's like having social media with my name and like my face is like that's my power, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
got you.
uh, but yeah, it was really fucking scary, and I lost that, and I was really fucking bummed out, and also it's just like being betrayed, and then it's like relationships after that ended kind of similar or just being fucked over and then enterprise I think I spent like 8 years doing enterprise and it was just like dude like it was like a fucking it was like a turd like
A turd.
a turd yeah so basically the band started was me and BJ and it was like this fresh new turd just hot summer day right on the pavement right on the blacktop and like the members we basically had to like fill the lineup really quickly because we had tour offers before we even had a lineup and so basically that was probably our first problem was that we had to fill it really quickly and so the fucking flies came in and I met a lot of good people that joined the band. It's like if you look at like our uh, like Wikipedia with like our members, stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
there's like 40 or some shit. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just people that joined real quick, like, yeah, I could do it. Like I'll do it, like stuff like that. And a lot of them we ended up having to fire, stuff like that. There's one guy that like pretty much all the people that were in the band previously, um, I will still hug when I see because I fucking love them. But there's one guy that I'll fucking kill him. But yeah, it's just dude, it's
Okay.
like like honestly, my entire journey with music has just been like heartbreak after heartbreak, and it's like always like um I don't know, it's just like always me taking my shirt off my back to give it to him and just keep getting fucked over. But yeah, it's been rough, but Enterprise isn't like that. Gabe and Brandon, they're uh, amazing dudes, amazing musicians. Very honored to have shared anything with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's unfortunate that things happen the way they did, but I wish them the best of all worlds, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I hope they dick sucked everywhere by everyone, and their butts massaged by
Their butts.
Indonesians, because I can't say Chinese anymore because my girl.
just offend another country. Okay. Dude.
Canadians.
Okay. Canadians, yeah, just say Canadians. You go ahead with Mexicans, because I'm half Mexican too.
No shit.
Yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Yeah, amazing, right?
Surrounding us, America, like just surrounding us.
Yeah. Dude, well, if we're talking about, just Enterprise Earth just right there, could we, like, obviously Overpass seems to be one of those pivotal songs talking about this premonition that you've been having, and you were kind of seeing from, this is how I gathered it, you kind of saw your own death happen before your own eyes, right? So you had like this enlightening kind of spiritual moment, right? Could you like elaborate and like fill in the gaps for me? I'm trying to understand it.
Yeah. When I do, people call me crazy, and it just perpetuates people thinking I'm crazy. But yeah, I have no problem kind of elaborating. So if I'm going to elaborate in a proper way, I'll start like further back in time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I tell like people that are closer to me this stuff, and I'm used to really keeping this like stuff more secretive, and I kind of fuck up because like when I do like when I with Overpass and stuff like that, when I make posts about like what the song is about, I only say in like now time, or most recently in like what specifically the song is about, and people just go back like resort back to like, oh, you're fucking crazy, blah blah blah, he lost his mind, kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And that's fun.
That's the internet. The internet always just jumps to conclusions right away.
Yeah, they always like, yeah, it's stressful, but um but when I jump back in time, I think they're gonna still say that I'm fucking crazy too. So I mean that's fine because like I'm used to that. My dad, um, since I was 13, there's been multiple times where he's had to look up whether I'm schizophrenic or not, and it was mostly just because I was having experiences and hauntings and things like that in different houses we lived in, where he couldn't explain it any other way than just immediately jumping to the conclusion that I was schizophrenic or something. So I'm gonna jump back further in time, and it's like over something really simple. So I was given, so like some people like on, I guess like spiritual Twitter, they would be like, "Oh my God, he's like an empath, psychic, crystal ball dude or whatever." But like that's not how I see it. It's not like
there's a spiritual side to Twitter.
Spiritual, yeah. Oh yeah. There's a fucking.
I thought Twitter was just about canceling everybody.
Mostly, but the other parts about astrology and like being, yeah, which
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into that side. But so basically, let's see, it was like my first it was the first like girlfriend I had that was like legitimate, like that was really serious. Me and her were very serious and in love and stuff, and I basically just had this dream one night that, and it was a very specific dream, one that I still remember every detail and color to this day. But basically, we were in the top of a skyscraper, and I'm just gonna summarize it. And we were all dancing, and it was New Year's Eve. And we were watching the clock countdown, and then when it hit midnight, there was like this like huge quake, and we all run to the window, look out on the horizon. We're in the skyscraper overlooking uh, a city that stretches to the horizon, and all of a sudden the sky gets wiped black. So it doesn't turn black, but it like wipes black like this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see like this like nuclear blast like radius thing that's just like coming, and as it's passing over the buildings, it's like destroying each building and like turning it to ruins. And then it hits our building. It splits the fucking tower in half like this.
Okay.
And me and her and everyone are standing on one side of the building, and on the other side of the split is the elevator to get all the way down. But we have to jump over this gigantic crack to get there. And so I grab her hand and I run over there with her, and I'm like, all right, we have to jump. Like, I know it's far, but we have to do it. And she's like, she grabs me before I jump over. She grabs me and pulls me to her, and she looks in my eyes, concerned, and she's like, I can't go with you. And I was like, why? And she's like, I'm not gonna make it. And then I wake up, immediately know that we're fucking breaking up. It was high school, so it was like, it was probably way too cool for like a high school breakup to have like a premonition like that. But yeah, it was like a week later we ended up like separating like that because we just couldn't. She couldn't go with me, kind of thing.
Really? So, like a week after the breakup actually happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And um and so like there's a couple premonitions like that that happened to me. Um and it was always apocalyptic, and it was always like death related, right? But every time that I would have it, it wasn't that I died, or it wasn't that I um was destroyed in that sense, but I would have these like premonitions before something major happened in my life that was like crazy emotionally destructive, like to the point where like it was just so much that it would change like my DNA in a sense. Um, and so the overpass thing was, um, I still think about it sometimes because it's like, what does the overpass mean, right? It's like I died underneath of like a place where paths cross, right, or something. I don't know, but I try to decipher it, but it's like it doesn't matter. It was like I knew it was coming, um, and I this was like a vision that I had actually while I wasn't sleeping. It was like a conscious one.
Oh,
While I was like awake during the day, and it just hit me, and I cried a whole bunch without tears. When I cry, I don't actually cry. It's like internally. I don't know.
really?
Yeah, I don't like cry. I like cry.
Oh, that's interesting. I weep like a baby when I cry.
Yeah, I haven't cried for like 10 to 15 years or some shit. But like it hit me one day, and it was like I think I was in an apartment with my fiance at the time, and I was off tour, and I got hit with the overpass premonition, and just like it literally was like a brain download. Like it just like hit my brain, and it made me like weep inside. And like immediately after that, I um just like focused on literally valuing each minute and every moment. Like even when I was being bitched at by my ex, I would just be like, "That's so cute that you care so much." You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like,
that's a good way of looking at it. It's true.
yeah, and just like valuing like all the dumb shit with like my old manager and stuff like that. It was just like more of just like being grateful for like everything, just being grateful to be alive. Um, and then I wrote the song and we released the album, and then the album made like the song made sense once we split, because I feel like that's what the premonition was about this like gigantic catastrophic event that was going to happen that wasn't necessarily apocalyptic or your death, but it was definitely something that was like catastrophic to like my soul and my emotions. And so that's why I feel like Overpass is definitely was about. And I'm scared now to write songs because I feel like a lot of the songs that because like when I look back at old songs, I read the lyrics and shit, and then it's like, dude, like this is like what my life became after I wrote the song. You know,
Really. So
so it's like,
all the premonitions that you've had over the years, they've all been like necessarily true to some certain point.
Yeah, but it's not something that I can pinpoint. It's not something that it's like a
more gradual and nuanced.
it's more like if when I look back and I read them, I'm like, fuck, dude, stop writing songs. Because like, are the songs the reason why I'm fucking shot?
So to clarify with Overpass, you had the premonition and then you wrote the lyrics, or you wrote the lyrics and then had the premonition?
No, I had the premonition. I wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
So with those one with Overpass, I had the premonition more than once. And that's why I mean we have a song that was called Overpass, because like Overpass isn't like a really cool name, but it's something that like meant a lot. And same with the lyrics. I mean, just like if you don't know, I guess like maybe it sounds like kind of poetic, right? But yeah, it's not like the coolest sounding shit, but it yeah yeah
Dude,
it means a lot.
it's I think it's one of the best songs of the year. Musically, from a musical standpoint, but also knowing the lyrics. Like, when I listen to a lot of like metal, I don't personally gravitate towards lyrics too much. I play guitar, right? So I'm always listening to like song structure and things like that. But hearing like what happened to you, I want to like understand you better. So then after hearing what happened, I went into the lyrics and trying to read along to the lyrics, and now I even love the song even more. It's just like it's like a part of who you are, and that's why I wanted to ask this question and just get to understand this premonition a bit more. And yeah, it sounds like you're kind of like pretty like spiritual person. Like, do you meditate? Are you that kind of like spiritual? Do you practice?
So I think like so my so I grew up as a missionary son, and my father he moved us around the country a whole bunch in the United States, into like really bad areas, um, and so a lot of the things that we went through as like kids, because I have let's see, five brothers and sisters. I have a half brother, half sister, and then three adoptive siblings. Um, and basically, yeah, so we would move like to ghetto, um, like really bad places. And my dad would start from the ground up, from nothing, missions for like gang members, addicts, and prostitutes and stuff. So
Wow.
we lived in like really, really, really bad places. And so we were taught from like a really young age to have like this, like, I guess, like connection with God and like spirituality and stuff. And for me, it personally evolved into something where I didn't necessarily think that I was like praying to Jesus or praying to Yahweh or something, but it was more like I didn't have anyone else to talk to, I guess. And I, God or Jesus or Yahweh or whatever, discerned my trust, because really bad shit would still happen when I would pray. Um, but I did develop this like spirituality where it was like things were just so bad all the time, and things just kept getting worse and stuff. So uh, pretty much like I always ended up resorting back to prayer, and I guess it would be meditation. Um, but there's not like a fundamental like understanding or way of saying like I meditated exactly like you would find on YouTube or something. But it was like more of like meditation in a sense where like when things were really bad, I just kind of zoned out, and then I thought like in my everyday life, whenever I touched something or picked something or did something, in the back of my mind, there was this like meditative, I guess, like instinct of like I'm not just picking up this item, I'm picking up this item to affect this spiritual thing in a way. I guess I don't know how to explain it more than that, but
talking about
uh,
spirituality and anything like that can definitely get, you know, a little bit confusing, but I just want to say
yeah.
that I can relate too, because you know, I just mentioned that I'm half Mexican, so anytime you like assume like most Mexicans are Catholic, right? I was born Catholic,
Mhm.
and I grew up going to church, but um I don't necessarily go to church and believe in the sense of Jesus, and but the people who do, you know, I respect them. I think I don't know. There's a lot of absence in spirituality, and a lot of people just. I feel like a lot of people are more nihilistic lately, which I think is. I don't know. I think that's just. I think there's more life than that. So, actually, to be completely honest, I have been going to church a little bit more, and that's mainly just because, like, with my mom, like, you know, she lives in a whole different town. It's like an hour away from me, so like I just usually see her on Sundays, and then she wants to go to church too, so I just end up going to church with her. You know, I don't really do the whole like communion thing kind of thing. I just kind of go and support. And then but the thing is, like, after I go, I feel so much better. You I don't know, it's so hard to explain why, but there's a sense of community, there's a sense of something bigger than just yourself, because everyone's just thinking about themselves, but like, you know, you're just something in this grand universe. And then also, like, when I'm it's like a funny example, but like anytime I'm leaving the parking lot to church, everyone is so friendly. Everyone's like, no, no, you go ahead. Oh no, you go ahead. And like, that's the thing about church. Everyone's just like, you, it just makes people feel something that I feel like can be absent in normal day life.
So, so what I'll say from like my observation, because like I moved like over 30 times, and like in each spot that I've lived in, I probably went to like 10 different churches like growing up. So the one thing I did notice is that um, there is something magical. I guess I would say magical because it's like something we don't understand, right? There's something magical about like meeting together and all of us like believing in something bigger and greater, right?
Yeah.
But also too, I think like spirituality wise, I think that there is like I don't think that any religion I think all religion is wrong, but I also think all religion is right at the same time.
What do you
So
mean by
it's like
that?
so I would say like their belief in a higher power, their belief in good and their belief in evil existing. I think all that's right, but I think where everyone gets lost and where everyone is wrong is when they try to decipher the details of shit that doesn't matter.
The
Like,
history.
exactly. The history that isn't proven, that you can't rely on, like, and then arguing over that because of like some fucking theologian in fucking France, or like some fucking dude who wrote this 4,700 years ago. It's like, but the premise is the same all across the globe, where we all know that there is like some sort of higher power, and love is the answer, in that hate and evil is the destruction of man, right? Like I
Yeah.
think those like fundamentals are like everyone's right about, but at the same time everyone's fucking wrong when they keep like arguing and diving deeper into the details. Like when you study harder about the details, like the more wrong you get. And that's just my opinion, because like I think that's also like, maybe, to be honest and truthful, maybe a coping mechanism for me loving people like as a whole, is because it's just like I don't want anyone to be like wrong and
Yeah.
go and die and go to hell and like suffer and shit like that. But it's just like also too is like me as an empath, I just love people, and so like I understand that like I can see somebody who's Catholic, Baptist, Buddhist, and I can still see them connect with something greater than us individually, you know. So that's
Yeah.
just like my personal thing.
it's like a certain kind of balance that I think is kind of necessary. But like even you talking about being an empath, you know what? I don't really consider. I don't know if I am or not, but I can relate in some sort of way that I feel like you're, taking off your shirt for others and stuff all the time. I can totally relate, and I definitely have relationships. You know, I relationships have burned on my, and it sucks because like I feel like I do a lot for people, and so I can kind of like feel like I'm relating to you a lot more than I expected actually. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, dude, fucking yeah. Me and you are the type of the dudes that just take our shirts off for other dudes. You trying to take your shirt off right now? Let's go.
Yeah, let's take our shirts off. There we go. That'll be good for clout. Um, dude. Okay, so actually, you know what? Talking about more of the spiritual stuff and like you were talking about hauntings. If we could go back to that, like, if that's all right, you were saying that you had hauntings. Is it like more like paranormal or like?
Yeah. So I've had so I've lived in so I was personally I was haunted in one location. Um, another location, which actually inspired the first Annihilator album. Um, I witnessed a ghost, and it actually ended up being related to the subject matter. Um, and then there was just one that was I started getting like what do you call it?
Like ghost wise, like demon.
No, I'll just start at the beginning, and it'll probably come to me. The second house. It's not like really relevant because it was really short-lived experiences. But um, so the first house, I lived in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Uh, it's called Jane Street. If anyone wants to look it up, it's called Jane Street.
Okay.
But there was a old Catholic church, and then right next to the Catholic church, there's a parsonage. And so a parsonage is basically where priests would be. They would stay. The priest would stay there and live there, and then they would go service the church and like do church stuff or whatever. But they basically were bunked and housed inside of this parsonage. It was about I think it was a 4-story house, an old home. Um, and I lived there as a kid with my parents because they got it a good deal. And then on top of that, my dad bought. I don't think he was like rented it or something, but so we had stayed in the parsonage as a family, and then he opened up a mission inside of the old Catholic church that was abandoned. So the
Okay.
entire place was abandoned. Lived in a really bad neighborhood. Latin King uh, gangs pretty much ruled the area. We actually ended up having like some sort of protection from the Latin Kings because my dad had a bunch of people in the mission that were like recovering from drug addicts and also just honestly just trying to get through their parole and stuff like that. So it was just like a resource for them. So we had like protection, but we had like bullet holes in our house, and about every single night we would hear machine gun fire,
Oh.
and my parents would be like, "Oh, it's fireworks," and we were just like, "Yeah, we're not fucking stupid."
How old were you again?
Uh, this was this was like about first grade, second grade. Um, yeah, I think second grade. Yeah,
So yeah, you could tell they were gunshots then.
yeah, there were gunshots.
Yeah. Okay.
It was machine gun fire. So like out there, they would use kids as drug runners, and they'd give them Uzis. Um, and so there would just be like kids my age with little fucking straight up Uzis and Mac 10s.
Oh my
Um,
god. How can they
and
even
and
carry it? Jesus.
they were the smallest guns they had that were fully auto.
Yeah,
How they
gee.
shot them, I don't know, but never saw it. But so basically, there was one day where uh, I woke up late or something like that. It was the weekend, and my brothers and sisters were gone. Like the entire floor that I was on, which is the third floor, It was completely silent. And so I got up and I walked around, and I was looking for my brothers and sisters, went into their rooms and shit, and I was like, what the fuck, where is everyone? Um, and then ended up walking past my room thinking like, okay, if I go to like, we called it the den, right? It was like where it wasn't the living room, but it was like there was another space where we all like as kids hung out and like did cool shit because there was like 4 floors in that place. Um, and so I was like heading that way, like, haha, that's probably where they are. Um, and I walked past my room, and so yesterday, the day before this was happening, my mom told me because I had been cleaning my room off like for fucking a week, and
Yeah.
she's like, if you don't fucking clean your room, you can't play or do anything. And I was like, all right, I got this. So
Yeah.
I took all my toys and I shoved them in the closet, like just like fucking, and then like closed the door.
Yeah.
So that's how I cleaned my room. It took me like 5 minutes. So when I walked past my room, I looked over into my room, just like glanced because I saw movement, and there was this girl who I thought was my sister because my sister, she was adopted, and she's a Puerto Rican girl with like really long, thick Puerto Rican curly hair.
Okay.
Um, she was kneeling on the ground in my room, and my closet door was open, and all my toys were sprawled out around her. And she was sitting on her knees with her hair in front of her face, her curly, thick Puerto Rican hair. And she was sitting there, like, with all my toys spread out. And I had just, like, walked past my room, looked over and saw that, and turned around, like, like I'm gonna beat your ass.
That's how you reacted?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, she was a monster. She used to push me and my brother to the point where like we would fucking like she wanted to fight all the time.
It's the
So
Puerto
like
Rican.
when I saw that, like literally I was like, dude, she's fucking trying to fuck with me because she knows I just cleaned my room. So I went back and I was like, dude, we're gonna fucking fight. And keep in mind we're in second grade. Like I'm
Yeah.
like I think it was like 4 years later or something like that. That's when I learned not to hit women. But like back then, it was cool to hit women.
when you
Because
were when you were a
women,
kid.
because women were like 5 and so was I. We were like the same age. Um. So anyway, I went back to go kick her ass, and my closet door was completely closed. All my toys were put up, but that image was burnt in my head, and it still is to this single day where I remember every detail. And so what I didn't say was what she was wearing, and she was wearing a Catholic schoolgirl uniform. It was a plaid dress with a
Okay.
white undershirt and with a red like tie
Yeah,
thing
yeah, okay.
and black shoes. And so I went out and I told my mom that because I went outside and I found them. They were all just like hanging out outside, and I was like, "Mom, I thought it was Angie, but I saw some girl in my room." And my mom, she still remembers me saying that to her to this day. Like we still talk about it sometimes because she also went through one of the other hauntings with me later on down the line. But
Okay.
so basically, she's like, yeah, that was not Angie because Angie was out there playing, fucking wearing a totally different outfit. But anyway, so basically, what I learned later on down the line, years later, is I tell my mom that story again. I was like, hey, you remember that one time I saw the little girl that I thought was Angie, looked just like her, same age, everything, different outfit, all that stuff. And she was like, yeah, so I needed to tell you something, but I didn't want to tell you back then because your dad made me promise you that not my dad basically told my mom not to tell her like any of the kids this, but so basically the reason that they got all that property, the church and the parsonage together, was because that was one of the first big cases of um, priest child molestation charges.
Oh shit.
So, so the priests that lived in the house that we lived in, they got busted for fucking raping kids and shit. And this was back when it was like it started to come out and pop up all over the United States. So like fucking priests were getting busted all over the states, and then all the Catholic churches are overseen by literal fucking uh the fucking Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So the hierarchy there deals with anything that they, anything here, like the priests here. So when they got told that there's these priests fucking molesting children and shit, the Roman Catholic Church, they fucking all they did was they would take that priest that got in trouble with that shit, and they would move them to the next county over, outside of the jurisdiction of where they were being charged and hunted for their child molestation cases and shit.
Yeah.
So these priests would literally fucking rape kids, get charged, but then move a state over and then be in charge of fucking kindergarten classes again and like fucking preschools and shit. And that fucking boggled my mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's like the whole Infinite Annihilator thing. It's like um right around when I started writing the lyrics for that, was actually when the next ghost situation like popped up for me. And it was a full blown like demonic haunting. It wasn't like seeing a little girl ghost. It was like some fucking exorcist shit.
What do you mean, like demonic haunting? Like, where was it at your?
That was Gary, Indiana. Um, yeah, if you ever want to look up Gary, Indiana, like look up Gary, Indiana, and you'll see why that. I mean that place is the demonic portal itself. Honestly,
I type in Gary, Indiana on Google. The first search result is crime. Second search result is demon house.
Yeah. Well, so the guy who did uh he did a famous like ghost hunting show. He bought a house there that was like a demonic house. It was a haunted house, and he went there and did like a documentary about it. So it was called the Demon House or whatever.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right here. Okay.
But yeah, that place is fucking evil. It's fucking evil. That the city itself is evil. So my dad started a mission there. I moved out when I was like 17, and I went off and did my own thing. And I moved back in because I was like getting involved with like drugs and like this dumb stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
So I moved back in with my parents, but they moved there, so I moved in with them there. Um, in that place, the crime rate, uh, I for a really long time was the number one per capita highest crime rate. So it's like per the people that live there was the highest crime rate in the United States, kind of thing. It might have been the world. I can't remember, but it's up there. It's like so I almost got carjacked there. I hit a crackhead on a bike one time with my car.
Really?
Yeah, he survived. He was fine.
The drugs
I
saved
almost
him.
got I almost got stabbed there. Um, right down the street from the house I lived at. There's a six-year old and an 8-year old boys. They got shot and killed one block from my house. They got shot and killed for their cell phones. And there was times where I drive around and you didn't like when a animal dies, like a squirrel or something like that. It's like you might drive past it or something like that and smell it for a second, but a human body's that stench will smell for like a square, maybe half mile, maybe.
Yeah.
And in a tight and closed city like that, it's like when you drive like when you drive by, um, it just infests like your senses. You
Holy
taste it, and that place was really fucked. Um,
dude,
but
that
I was haunted there. 'Cause we lived in this house, and I was recording Infinite Annihilator stuff on my lunch breaks, and Uh, yeah, I mean, like across the street, there was like 3 or 4 abandoned houses, and they were all occupied by homeless, like crackheads and shit.
Yeah.
Um, so I got to know them, so I felt safe around them. But it was like anytime I had guests or something like that come over, which was very rare, their shit wasn't safe because I only had protection from the crackheads across the street. But like if they saw anything that was not my car, they would try to go for it. But anyway, so it all started. The haunting started. I was pretty much just to finish the Infinite Annihilator record, and my idea was that like it came about because it wasn't because I was doing anything evil or that I was evil or anything like that or deserved anything. It was more because I thought because I was repeating those lyrics when I was tracking the songs. I thought it was because I was repeating those lyrics in the space, you know. And so if you think in like a another dimension or dream state or anything like that, it's like when you chant or repeat words, like you like in cults and stuff like that, they chant things and they do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, "Hot, hot, 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 hot," you know, and it's like to invoke spirits, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I thought it started, but I can only speculate. But there was one time where it rained like relentlessly for like 3 days, and this is where it started. And I lived in the basement of the house. It was just me in the basement, and the basement flooded one day when I woke up. So like when I stepped out of bed and put my feet and planted them on the floor, um, the basement was covered in water. So I stepped in like an inch of water, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like perfectly flat, and so like I dried up all that shit, and basically all that was left was the uh, carpet square in the center of my room because it was like an epoxy pavement on the ground.
Okay.
Um, and so the carpet was wet, and so what I did was it was really wet, so I didn't want to get electrocuted or like be dangerous and like go away from work and like put like cords in the fucking water and shit. So I took an extension cord, ran it to a fan, and I took the extension cord and I put the fan on a chair. I took the extension cord and then wrapped it through the back of the chair where you like it has like a little handle on the chair,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a little space to where you can grab it. So I wrapped it around there and tied it, and then I plugged it into the fan. And I went to work, and I faced the fan at the carpet, thinking like, oh, it'll dry throughout the day. Um, so I come home, and the extension cord is unplugged from the fan. It's untied from the chair, and the extension cord is put into a puddle of water. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That
so
it could have been like one
so
of the crackheads from across the street or something.
no, because so me, my father, and my mom, we're the only ones living there, and we've lived in ghettos our entire life, and we have this like un like bewildered like system of always locking shit because we know a crackhead's gonna get in there and fucking murder us and rape us and chop our dicks off. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
So like we don't do that. Like even me to this day, it's like I mean I live in the country where it's probably safe to leave like my shit unlocked. Like I don't do that shit because I don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it so basically it was like laid in the water to where like it looks like a fucking booby trap of like somebody trying to kill me or some shit. So I called my mom up immediately because like I was with my dad working all day because I worked for him at the time.
Okay.
I called my mom up and I know she's the only one in the house and I was like, Mom, did you fucking untie the extension cord from the chair and like leave the extension cord in the water so that I would die? And she was like, No, I haven't been home all day. And I'm like,
Did did they
so
see
I'm like,
anything too?
they, I later I can tell you, it's like, yeah, they did, but they brushed it off and explained it as a train which when you looked it up on the GPS, there wasn't a train for over a mile. So later on, what happened after that is I started waking up at 2 and 3 a.m. in the mornings, and my bed was exorcist shaking like fucking. It was like blast beat fast, like to where it was like my headboard against the wall was like.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And so I'd wake up and my bed would be shaking, and I would just be like in like awe, like what? And so that started to happen like every single night. And my dad was like, "Hey, that's probably a train." And because at the house, because we lived like 4 blocks away earlier, before we moved to this house, and there was a train that right next to our house that I would try to like track vocals and stuff, and it would ruin my. Yeah, I fucking hate this Indonesian shit.
It's all good, man. Maybe that's the demon again.
Dude, fucking yeah. So the
train.
So yeah, the train. So I started to like look it up, and I was just like, dude, there's no train tracks near us. And fucking my dad was like, okay, so you give me this evidence of there is no train tracks near us. So next time your bed is shaking, call me and I'll answer my phone. And my dad's bedroom was like right above me.
Yeah.
There was like no insulation. So it's like, so my bed started shaking one night, and I'm telling you, it was like The Exorcist. And so before this even happened, I went in with an Allen wrench and tightened my bed to the point where like it was on top of pavement. So like I tightened it to the point where like you couldn't shake it or jiggle it.
I was going to say something about tightening.
Yeah. So I tightened the fuck out of it to where it was like literally a cinder block. And my bed started shaking one night, and the headboard was beating against the fucking wall. And I was like, dude, this is fucked. And so I called my dad while it was happening, and then it stopped as soon as like I started calling him. I called him, and I hear him answer, "Hello," like through the fucking ceiling. And I was like, "Yeah, you told me to call you when my bed was shaking again." And he was like, "What? Oh yeah, it's okay. My bed's shaking right now."
Oh,
and so like that was like the fucking like I'm not crazy anymore because my bed was not shaking when he answered his phone, and his bed was literally fucking shaking while he was on the phone with me. And then like I listened and I could hear this little fucking like, and it was his fucking headboard tapping against the wall up there. And so anyway, this went on for months, and it got to the point where like I would hear stomps walking through the house upstairs. And it wasn't just like steps; it was like literally somebody taking the heel of their foot and stomping through the house, like
yeah, loud and hard hitting.
Yeah, and my dad would like call me and be like, "Hey, is that you?" And I'd be like, "No, like I'm not an asshole. What the fuck?"
How long did you live there?
So we lived there probably for like about 9 months, and it happened. I would say about 4 to 5 months before we ended up moving out. And there was like another little like experience like when we did move out where whatever it was followed us for like one last night and then sent us a sign and then dipped out after that. So it was really strange. It was whatever it was wasn't just like some sort of residual haunting. It was like a very intelligent being that wanted us to know that it was intelligent, which is even creepier.
Yeah, a demonic presence kind of thing.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Dude, I like hearing about this stuff. I've never had anything personally happen to me. You know, like back in the day, I used to go with like buddies, go to abandoned houses and like look out for stuff. And I've always been like into paranormal and like even like when it comes to like movies and stuff, like horror stuff. But I'm intrigued by it. So, but nothing's ever happened. Like, it's funny because your story kind of sounds similar to like a buddy of mine who lived in this house where there was this basement with like this little doorway. It's like a 2-foot like crawl space, and like when he moved in, there was like crosses all like on it and stuff, like barricading it. And he said there was like weird shit happening to him when he would walk by the staircase, like on the middle floor. He would get like pulled into the basement and just like roll down the stairs. And he would like vomit the random night and stuff. I'm like, dude, weren't you just sick? He's like, it happened like all the time. Like, I don't know why. And then as soon as we moved out, it stopped happening.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that is it's pretty fucking wild. I mean, like, yeah,
can't really explain it. It's just like
there's nothing to be like there's nothing scientific about it, just to where you can say, oh, it was just this, or oh, it was just that, or that person's just crazy. Because I already went through that. I went through like years of my father looking up and telling people I was like schizophrenic and shit, and fucking it, like, it still pisses me off that like what my experiences were invalidated. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I was so alone through all that fucking shit. And uh yeah, it's just like, dude, I it's so much more common for these like experiences to happen, especially now, because of these like houses and energy zones or whatever they are, magnetic anomalies, whatever it is, like they're only increasing as more houses are built and as more experiences and traumatic events are happening in these places and more people are moving into them. So it's like it's only going to be more common in the future. And it's like people are fucking just excused as schizophrenic or crazy. Go see a psych, here's a medication, take this fucking thing that's going to make your dick not work for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, it just drives me fucking crazy, dude.
Well, that's why there's been like stories, and so many people have experienced things like that for sure. And then yeah, obviously shock therapy, trying to like treat people. But yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, thank God at least it progressed a little bit to where they're not fucking doing lobotomies for people who see ghosts.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I had no idea we were going to be talking about ghosts and fucking a whole bunch of other shit. It's awesome. I'm looking at the time. Like, I don't want to take too much of your time up. Like, I know it's a little bit late.
I don't have anything going on, so I mean,
what are you drinking anyway?
I'm trying to like not be fat right now, so I'm drinking the Michelob Ultra.
I know that is the beer of choice when you're like on a diet. I know I'm cutting back too, so that's why I'm drinking a tea. But I would love to have a beer right now. Dude. So okay, you know what? Let's. I'm gonna move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is like viewer submitted questions. So I get some people to ask questions on Patreon. And by the way, if you want to ask questions for the next guest on the METALBIRB podcast, go to patreon.com/METALBIRB. Damn, I'm good at plugging. Okay, so let's hype this up. Can we hear this? Oh shit, my soundboard's not working. Okay, it's supposed to be a cool sound effect. All right, let's just move on to the first question from Daniel Spencer. What non-metal artists influence you?
Ooh, Gorillaz.
Gorillaz, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, dude, yeah. The list goes on, dude. Metal's only a portion of my fucking shit.
Oh, I figured as much.
Let's see here. I got Typo Negative, which will still be metal, right? The entire 2000s new metal era. That's my shit.
Yeah, I saw your Linkin Park cover. Fucking badass.
Thank you, dude. Like right now, I'm going to back on an Evanescence binge. That's still metal though, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it is really metal.
Got any crazy ones like J-pop, Korean pop, or jazz? Or...
No. I have to like visually look because I can't ever pull anything out of my ass. I like Frank Sinatra. Fucking Gorillaz is like a huge one. I fucking love Gorillaz. Let's go through my old shit. John Murphy, Jethro Tull was a big one.
Okay.
Casey Musgraves.
Casey
It's the most
Musgraves.
it's the most recent.
Don't know that one.
Yeah, she's a country chick. Yeah, she's
Oh, see,
good vibe.
you can get down with some country.
Oh yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
Dude, same. Like, oh, what's that super popular song?
Who's that fucking guy that recently I was listening to? Modest Mouse. See what else is on here. Um, I love like Nordic shit, like chanting like Ragnarok Brothers, because I'm white as fuck.
Oh, I think someone literally showed me like EDM, Nordic kind of stuff. It was wild.
Hold on, what was this saying? Casey Musgrave? No, what's that one guy? Fuck. I think I lost him.
You got a whole bunch. You got a whole bunch.
Listen, yeah, just listen to a bunch of good shit. That's all.
Yeah. I figure as much with like your style of clean vocals and your range and everything. I can only assume like, yeah, you listen to a wide variety of music. Gorillaz is a cool one. I wouldn't expect that. Another one from
Empire Ants from Gorillaz. It's like one of my favorite songs ever.
I'll check it out because I'm not like huge into Gorillaz.
Oh, dude, Empire Ants. That's like, dude, that's like one of my favorite songs of all time. That's one that's gonna be played at my funeral for sure.
Yeah, I'll check it out after this. Timothy,
You gotta wait. You gotta wait. I'm sorry. You gotta wait like until it kicks in before you cut it off.
Oh,
Okay?
I listen to the full thing. I always do.
Okay.
Don't worry. Timothy says, did the fact Gabe lives off grid surrounded by nature change or affect the creative process for making EE's newest album compared to a traditional studio?
It made it. No, I mean, well, yeah. What it changed was that there was more time to record, because we didn't have to pay for studio time, and so the EP, the Enterprise Earth EP, I literally tracked in one single day in a studio. Patient Zero, I tracked in 2 days in a studio, which for creative reasons is fucking horrible to have to do everything in 2 days. Embodiment was I think 3 days, but I think I got drunk, like too drunk one day, so it was technically 2 days. And then the failsafe fallacy was 3 weeks for vocal recording, but Jason had a problem smoking dabs, and so I only pretty much got like really good time doing like an hour a day. So even for 3 weeks, it was fucking horrible. So for The Chosen, it was the first time where like I had as much time as I needed, and then some, to really make sure that the vocals were what I wanted. For sure.
It was all like self-produced and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. Cameron says, I consider you to be a criminally underrated vocalist, and the last EE album showed you have a wide range of vocal styles. Who inspires your cleans, and are cleans something you'll explore more in the future musical endeavors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the clean, it's like there's no like one person that inspires me, because like what I have access to personally, it's like I can't just like go like listen to somebody and be like, I'm gonna do exactly what they do because I really like that. It's like vocals are more about like exploring what you're capable of doing and then exploiting your own range and what you're capable of doing. So it's like, but yeah, influence is all across the board. I take influence from like movies. Like I'll hear like a movie soundtrack and be like, dude, yeah, inspired.
I feel like I kind of hear that in Overpass too a little bit. Feels a little bit cinematic. Yeah. Your cleans a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. A little bit. I'm trying to think of who it kind of sounds like. But like I was watching your interview with Mark from Carvox Academy, and even you said something cool about like your clean vocals in that song. You just like went into like this emo style of vocal, but then you added like some sort of distortion to it. And I thought that was just cool because like it just shows that you're trying to do different things vocally instead of like, yeah, using your influences. I think you were...
So yeah, I mean, like when it comes to like So it's like what I can do physically, and then it's also like how I can apply it. So it's like this crazy like dimension of like, okay, because I mean like I can like literally sit here and apply distortion to my vocals, and the amount of distortion I add to it changes the complete effect of everything. So it's like I can add a little bit, and it'll make me sound like a fucking weirdo. I can add a lot, and then it'll make me sound like a fucking half demon, half emo cyborg. Right? But then it's like what notes you choose and like how you decide to use them and apply it. So it's like my voice, if I do the same thing for a different song with different notes and a different scale, it'll actually change the way my voice sounds, which I'm like playing with a lot with like the new Meyer Lore stuff. So like there's like cleans that are like going on that sound like way different for one song, and then it sounds like a completely different person for another song on another separate part of the record. So it's like it it's overwhelming in a sense too, because it's like, dude, there's like so much I can do just by like thinking differently. It's not necessarily that like I'm as good as like 20 different vocalists, but it's just more like it's cool that like just thinking differently can make you sound differently. And I approach it cinematically because it's like it is like playing a character. It's not like it's not me, right? It's more of like what you can play. I guess like I'm a method vocalist, right?
Yeah, that's a super weird way of thinking about it, but that's kind of sick. Yeah, just pull a whole bunch of different styles and like it's like you're the Leonardo DiCaprio of vocals.
Fucking Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
I lived in a garbage can for 3 weeks to sound like this.
that was
I can't wait.
surprisingly pretty good. Twitter's trying to cancel him for always like breaking up with any girl that goes like above 23 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, next question from Tom. Do your neighbors like your vocal exercises?
I don't know, because anytime I lived in an apartment and I did vocals in my closet where I know my neighbors could definitely hear me, I always stayed within the boundaries of reasonable hours. Uh, and they every time I met them in the hallway, they were super fake nice, like every other neighbor. They're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I never got cool or close enough to any neighbors to like really know what they think.
Yeah, like I don't practice it, but like I was jamming out some. I guess this guy just heard the music because my neighbor in my condo building came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you like metal?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, maybe I was blasting it out loud or something. He's like, "Oh, I'm a metalhead too." And then he was telling me like he likes black metal, and he's like, "Do you like black metal?" And like that's the only genre of black metal that I have a hard time getting into. I'm like, "Fuck, no, I'm not huge into black metal." But then I told him I'm just like I know like Behemoth and stuff, and he's like, "Behemoth is shit. Let me show you this band from Toronto." And then he shows me this band, and like legit the first black metal band that like I enjoyed. So
Really?
oh, it was
What
like
are they called?
Panzerfaust, I think is what they're called. They're from
Oh,
Toronto.
Panzerfaust. Yeah, Panzerfaust. Yeah, they're
Oh
from Canada.
yeah, they're from Toronto, dude.
What the fuck?
I know. I thought that was
They're
weird too.
so not true black metal,
They look like Scandinavian as fuck too.
and they're called Panzerfaust, like literally like a German Nazi tank. Panzer,
Yeah, they're
like Nordic racism, Canadian.
yeah. All their music is based off like war stuff too, but I think it sounds sick. All right, so that's it for like the viewer questions. So for me, I just want to ask you some fun questions. So I do this with all the podcasts. I plan on it at least. So top 3 favorite bands. I think we already know number 1.
Lamb of God.
No, I thought it was gonna be Gorillaz.
No.
That's just non-metal.
No.
Gotcha.
Empire Ants and Plastic Beach. For Gorillas is definitely it's up there. Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake, that album. I have the Warbird on my neck.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's like a number one. Number one favorite band for sure, though, is definitely Perfect Circle, which is on the other side of my neck.
I gotta listen to them. I've never been like a huge like Tool person and stuff, even though
if you're not like a huge Tool person, going to a Perfect Circle is definitely a must because that's where you really see Maynard shine, and it's more like it's less like jerking off, like oh here's this time signature that's crazy. It's more like
yeah,
it's like more spiritual to me. It's a spiritual thing for me.
yeah.
Um, I would highly recommend listening because if you like any 2000s like era like new metal kind of stuff, I would recommend listening to the Apocalypse version of fucking what's it fucking called?
I see a remix here.
Yeah, just listen to a Perfect Circle Apocalypse remix.
Oh yeah, I see it. Outsider.
Yeah, Outsider. Yep, yeah. So that's like a classic song that they've done. But that's like yeah, that's like one of my favorite bands. Like Maynard is like amazing to me.
He truly
So
is. Yeah.
what I got? Perfect Circle. Their new record too is really awesome. Like if you just like vibing and driving kind of thing.
Yeah. They put out a new
Uh,
record recently.
yeah. Last I think like 2 or 3 years ago. I think.
Yeah, 2018. Okay, Eat the
Uh,
Elephant.
yep. Disillusioned and The Doomed are my two favorites, and also By and Down the River. Those are three really good songs from that album. Um, and honestly, those are like my big two. The rest is just open to appreciating all music.
Yeah, I know I do want to check out like stuff like A Perfect Circle, but I'm kind of like a weird spot because like, do I listen to this on my free time or do I film it for content? Like, that's how I listen to music now. It's like it's always based around like,
I was wondering about that because I saw like your reaction to like enterprise stuff and stuff like that, and like you just seem like a really passionate like person who enjoys music. And then I was thinking today, like when you asked me, like when we were about to do this, I was like, wait a second, like I like him because he seems like a passionate music listener who just like enjoys it and has fun. But it's like now I'm thinking like, should I ask him if he enjoys listening to music anymore?
oh, am I just a poser kind of thing? But
No,
like,
or just like, are you
because like,
fucking? Because it's your job now, right?
yeah,
So it's like
yeah,
you
it
have to listen to it.
it's so I know I'm always listening to music through like a critical lens, and that's how my audience expects me to listen to music because like I review each song. So when I listen to it, I'm always like trying to pay attention to the structure and
Yeah.
things like that. So
So
uh
your audience is literally fabricated to like look for you as you enjoy it. Like, are you enjoying this right now?
yeah, definitely, and it happens on the Twitch streams too. And so the thing is
Like,
like
whoa, he didn't like this breakdown that much. I
and,
wasn't feeling your feeling
and then
of that.
and then people get pissed too if you don't like something the same way that you like them too. But yeah, no, like so the thing is like, do I make content? Actually, speaking of Tool, I just checked out Lateralists for the first time like 2 weeks
Really?
ago. Yeah, I
Dude,
just
how old are you? Fucking 14? Like with a beard?
dude, I could just never get into Tool. I found, and like honestly, the fan base when making videos for Tool now, I find their fan base so like pretentious that I'm like I can't stand this band only because like the fan base now. But then I checked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I checked
Yeah.
out the album and it's like, okay, this is pretty fucking sick. Like, I get it, and like,
Yeah, it's like the I mean like the older Tool stuff, is definitely like it has its like merit, like it has its place, but yeah, the Tool fans are fucking shot.
oh, I know some fan bases are brutal. Um, but yeah, okay, so that's cool. We got the next one is going to be top 3 favorite movies.
Your favorite movies?
Yeah,
28 days later, 28 weeks later,
hell yeah.
and fuck, this is like a question that's like that's gonna like I'll probably wake up at 3 a.m. and be like, I should have said this because this is really my favorite movie.
Saying 28 Days Later was already the best answer you could have given. That movie's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, fucking. And then there's the first sequel done right. So that's why 28 weeks later.
The soundtrack to that too?
Oh, dude. Oh, so speaking of Meyer Lore, so we did a little fucking thing
Nod to
20.
that?
Yeah, to the 28 days theme and weeks theme.
What, on the new EP?
No, on the new record that's coming out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're working on.
Okay, you got to plug that record still. Like,
no, it's not we're still working on it, but it's today.
But okay, some exciting things are happening for Meyer Lore though.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude. So we got a fucking ballad on there with like fucking Queen of the Damned ballad. We have a 28 themed song on there, which is fucking sick as fuck. The other pretty much 5 songs are written and ready, and right now I have 2 guitar players. So one, I'm trying not to say too much. So one guitar player, he did some really cool shit before, and then the other guitar player who's working on the other 5 songs, he's a really close friend of mine, and he's in a really well-established band. And so he's working on the other half of the album. I'm working really closely with him, and I sent him a bunch of like piano stuff that I wrote to see if we can. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Nice, dude. I can't wait. Like,
I think one of your critiques though was like, there's no riffs, and there's gonna be riffs for the next shit.
hell yeah, bro. Honestly, like I said, Ashen Memories, I think that was like one of the criticisms that I had, but then after jamming out to it a little bit more, I fucking love that song. That chorus just hits. Same with the breakdown in the second verse. I love that song, dude. It did well on TikTok. I made like a TikTok clip of it. It got like 11,000 views or something. So,
oh no shit.
Yeah.
I should probably follow you on TikTok, but I just don't ever log into it because I fucking
dude. I don't want to be on TikTok, man. If it was up to me, I don't want any social media, but you have to. You have to.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I died with MySpace, but I told you, like I said, I was doing a catfish Morgan Freeman profile to survive, and it just I couldn't survive any longer, so I had to like be real, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny because like I have a personal social media account, and I've never plugged METALBIRB once. I've always wanted to do it organically. I'm like, this is my own thing. If you find it, you find it, kind of thing. People are kind of finding it now, so it's kind of cool.
That's how it was like with Meyer Lore, where it was like, you know what? I think I want the like the promotional aspect to be like, I don't give a fuck, and like it's so cool that like I'm not gonna plug it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, like,
I'm not gonna plug it. It's like black metal. Like it's an insider club, right? So like, but it's just like a lazy way of saying like I don't give a fuck, but it's cool, right?
Yeah. Can we like expect like a tour or something when the album comes out?
I don't know yet. But I already got a tour offer for 2023. And if the record is out then and it's doing pretty decent, I mean, like the tour offer is direct support already for an established band. So I mean, it's like it would be stupid not to do it, but also too, it's really fun because they're my friends. So. But yeah, it would be like the coolest first tour because like, dude, I do not want to do the same thing I did with Enterprise and like fucking tour underneath the nuts of like bands and just like nibbling like fucking guppies. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to do that shit anymore, dude. I'm too old and like too like mentally degraded to fuck around with that kind of shit. But
We're the same age, I think.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Yeah, we're 13. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 1990.
1990, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, thank God.
Yeah, don't worry. I can get all the references and shit.
Dude, usually it's like people who, have a beard and a full head of hair. They're like, dude, I'm 22. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you look fucking so cool. And I don't.
Well, my very first video, there's been a transformation. Well, not my very first video. It's like 2 weeks within doing my YouTube channel was actually an Enterprise Earth track. And I had like glasses, short hair, clean shaven kind of thing.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember just like, wow, this is really heavy. I couldn't really get into it. I'm just like, that was when I was like, I fell out of deathcore and then like I was getting back into it through the channel. And that song was just like fucking filthy for me. And then
your aesthetic for, I think, that video. Because I remember it because I remember seeing you later and being like, this guy looks looks and sounds so familiar, but like I've never met him in my life. And then I did look up like Enterprise reaction, and then I saw it was like you with short hair, and you look like a gent motherfucker.
A gent motherfucker? It's true, yeah. Gen kids always have like the glasses. They're always a little nerdy looking.
Yeah, you look like you look like you were trying to tap out the mathematical. You're like, oh, 4 + 4, easy. You guys suck.
Dude, like it's because I was working I had like a marketing job, so I had to look a little bit clean cut. So I've since left that job. Now I'm embracing my metal look, the mane and everything now. But
yeah, I'm gonna try to grow my hair out, but it's like I'm dreading it, and I've been putting it off because it's gonna take fucking forever, and I have to go through the mid phase of the bowl cut, the fucking like.
I was wearing a beanie for like a good, probably like a year in my videos because I was hiding like the mop that was on top of my head. Yeah, I saw like photos of you on Instagram with like your like longer hair and stuff. You had like long hair for a while.
Yeah, I did. I had like this hair. It was like it was short around the sides, long.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like really bad. And so I think this time I'm gonna do it right, and I'm just gonna wear a do-rag the entire time.
Yeah, you gotta go through that awkward phase. It's like the same thing with growing a beard too. Dude, actually I realized something. I was going through your Instagram and I saw like a Insta post of you driving, and it was like you gotta find someone in Silent Hill, and then you put like some Silent Hill 2 music on there. And I was I was nerding out. I'm like, dude, you like Silent Hill 2 as well?
Yeah. That's my shit.
That's my shit. Hell yeah. Okay.
Dude, Silent Hill 2? Fucking, I'd get lost in that shit for fucking. Honestly, it's like heaven to me would be like the afterlife to me would be like going to Silent Hill and being a ghost there. Like that'd be sick.
Minus the monsters though. Just like the foggy atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah. Minus the monsters. Yeah, unless like I had I could kill them really easy. Like I could just bitch smack them. Like
yeah. Did you see the remake?
Silent Hill 2, the movie?
No, there's a remake video game. There's trailers out for it now.
I heard about it, but I just like I don't know, like even with like Resident Evil and stuff, because Resident Evil was like my fucking shit growing up.
Same.
The PlayStation versions. We're the same age, so we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we probably and so like hearing about the Resident Evil 2 remake, it's like, is it sick though?
It's good. They've been crushing it. Yeah, they're remaking Resident Evil 4 and it looks fucking amazing too.
I heard about that too, the Resident Evil 4, because that was a lot. That was like Resident Evil 4 was. I still liked Resident Evil 5 as like an entertainment value, but like that Resident Evil 5 was when I started to check out from the Resident Evil series.
Yeah. Well, it looks sick, but then there's like the Silent Hill 2 remake looks a little finicky to me. That's why I was like hoping that you might have seen it. We can talk some shit.
No, I haven't, because I mean, even the Resident Evil 2 remake, because Resident Evil 2 like changed my fucking life. Growing up, like the PlayStation fucking version. My friend bringing it over with the PlayStation disc with the black bottom, fucking like bringing it over, like, hey, want to try this shit?
Really? That dude,
It changed my life.
My older brothers would play that, and I would be like just watching them, and I would be so scared to like be alone with that game. I remember just like thinking there's like zombies underneath my bed and stuff. That game freaked the shit out of me.
It took you fucking 30 seconds to walk through a door. Back then, that was like cinematic value of like, oh shit, what's about to happen.
I know.
But now it's like, if you see that shit, you're like, dude, come on, open, come on, open.
It's because our attention span is just completely fucked at the moment because of social media and stuff.
Yeah, especially TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like I don't want to be on TikTok, but I have to be. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Like at this point, it's like musicians have to like. It's gonna get to the point where we have to make 30-second songs now, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's not just a clip of a song that's longer than 30 seconds, because no one's gonna go actually seek it out and listen to it. They're only gonna listen to the 30-second song that you make.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like my TikToks are edits of just like the highlights of the song, so it's like the breakdown or like the final chorus, and I merge it together because it's like the best part of my reactions. And like there's the whole fucking verse missing and stuff in the intro.
Yeah.
So
and like that's one of the things too. Like one of like the magical things about a song is like the parts that literally fucking like suck. Like you have to drag your listener through some bullshit and then hit them with like the hook or whatever.
Yeah.
But like people just want to hear the hook now. That's it. Like so now it's like we're getting to the point where like we're gonna just start writing an album that's fucking 15 minutes long, and then each song is only 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
Like literally, like when you fucking post a full music video, no one wants to fucking go listen to it. But like your TikTok version of it will have 30,000 views of you just playing the good parts from the song, and then none of them go click on the full video. They're just like, oh, seen it, done it, cool, awesome. Bye. Want to see fucking people snort hot sauce.
No, it's like twerking and other things. I don't know, but yeah, you miss the tension, you miss the build-ups and everything within the song too. Like, I noticed even with my community, I feature like a lot of progressive metal on my channel, but it doesn't pull in a lot of views because like I find a lot of core kids just can't get into it. Their attention span is like 2 to 3 minutes, and it sucks because I think prog metal is so fucking interesting, and now it's even getting worse, right? Just like now songs need to be, and every song needs to have that filthy breakdown, and I do feel like I'm part of the problem with like reaction content, that like you want to have people react to these breakdowns, and then you clip it, you go viral, like what happened with like Lorna Shore into the Hellfire content, right?
Yeah, I mean, because like honestly, Lorna Shore wouldn't even be anything if they didn't have the snort breakdown on TikTok, right? Like let's just be honest, like that's like what success is now, is having something that is this short, that is mesmerizing in a short video concept, and then that can make your entire career and your entire album or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that's just like how the future is it catering to short attention spans. And honestly, new Meyer Lore is fucked because I mean we already have like a 7-minute song.
Oh hell yeah on my end, but yeah, you are fucked.
an 8-minute song. I think our shortest one so far is 6 minutes. Like, yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, just scrap everything and just make like 12 30-second songs or something.
Yeah, so I even had a call with the other guitar player that's working on the other half of the album, and I was like, hey bro, like I was like, what do you think about 3-minute songs? And he was like, oh yeah. I was like, please.
What, he was questioning it? What, he wants longer?
No, I mean, it's not that he wants it. It's like when you're like, even me, like honestly, like I'll Like when I write my own like little stuff, like I'll end up writing something that's like fucking 7 minutes, just because I just want to keep like exploring the idea. And honestly, like I love listening to a song like that too, because it's like you can take one idea and you can break it into like different components, and like you can explore the idea fully. But in 3 minutes, it's like you have to have like 4 songs with that same melody and concept to be able to explore it like deep enough, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah,
so you can take
absolutely.
one, so you can take one song with a 3 minute song concept and make a whole album out of that. And so maybe that's the fucking secret sauce right there. And I'm fucking up.
Yeah. Who knows, dude? Um, but actually, this is going to be a smooth pivot. Speaking of sauces, what is your top 3 favorite foods?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. I like that.
Uh,
It's a very unconventional answer. I like it though.
Peanut butter. Hamburgers.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's my answer. I fucking love peanut butter too.
Peanut butter hamburgers separately, not peanut butter hamburgers.
It can work. It can work. That's the great thing about a hamburger. Well, maybe. I
Um,
don't know.
and just out of like old school curiosity, crepes
Okay.
with whipped cream, you know?
Yeah, that's
Now that I'm not vegan, I've been vegan for like 6 years, so now I'm not vegan, and like crepes are fucking bomb.
right. Yeah, you I remember hearing that you were vegan, so then that burger answer should have shocked me. What made you like not want to practice veganism anymore?
Um, so I had gotten COVID from my parents, who were super, not gonna get into that stuff, but my parents gave me COVID as a gift.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I had it pretty rough, honestly, because my blood pressure got really low, and uh, I couldn't get up to make food and stuff like that. And uh, basically, the people that I was living with at the time weren't like cool with helping out making me food and stuff and getting me water or anything like that. So I would like stumble to the kitchen and then like be on the verge of passing out. So I would just grab as like whatever quick things I can get. So like I would get like canned tuna or like canned soup or something, and then just like or like a banana and run back. So basically, when I finally did heal from COVID, I had lost like 20, 25 pounds.
Holy shit, that
And
much?
yeah, and I didn't I mean, I only like my like sweet spot is like 135 pounds or something. And so like when I lost that much weight, like I didn't have that much weight to lose. So like I was uh like Jewish concentration camp, like skinny as
Just
fuck.
frail, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like my girlfriend at the time told me that like she felt like I couldn't protect her.
She said
anymore.
that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah. Some girls are like they're not so blunt, so honestly, if that's how she felt, like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, it's true though. I mean, like I was like really frail. And basically after that, like I just like I was like, fuck it, like fuck everything. I'm eating meat. Like it was like it changed like this like switch in my head of like, oh, I don't want to live off of suffering of animals to like I was a like I felt like I was like on the verge of dying. So like it switched to a point where I was like, oh, it's either me or you, baby, and you gonna die.
Yeah.
And so that's yeah, that's how that changed.
Fair enough, man. Like I did vegetarian for a year. This was like when I was like super I think like high school or something. I didn't know shit about dieting or anything, so I just ate a whole bunch of carbs and sugars. I ended up just gaining weight, but I tried. Now I'm like the complete opposite. Now I'm like trying to eat like all the meats. Like I want like try like every animal. Just I don't know.
Yeah, all their parts.
And all their parts. Friggin' liver cane or something.
Dude, fucking liver
That's what I just
roll-ups.
said. Liver cane.
Liver roll-ups?
Liver roll-ups? What the hell's a liver roll-up?
Like a fruit roll-up, but it's a fucking liver.
Oh, that's that sounds nasty. Dude, no, we don't have that here in well, we probably do have it in Canada, but not in Toronto.
You never had giblet puffs?
Jigglypuff? Like the Pokemon?
No, giblet puffs.
No, I don't even know what that is.
It's like Cocoa Puffs, but it's literally just dried up giblets.
No. You're not really selling me on it. It doesn't sound good.
No, I've never had that either, but I think that we should invest in something like that. It sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine the milk that's left over, because the milk would have like, it's like Cocoa Puffs, it'd be chocolate milk after. Talking about giblet milk after, you know?
What's a giblet?
Dude, I don't remember what a giblet is. All I know is giblets are fucking nasty. You don't want that shit. It's like tongue and heart and nuts. I don't know.
So put some
like
milk in that.
It's like all the shit you don't want, and like people just like make soup out of it.
Yeah, you put that in a bowl of milk, it'll be like murky and brown. Yeah. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. How do I pivot to this ending?
You ever had those peach rings? They're peach rings.
No, dude. Like I've had peach candies that look like peach rings, but I've never had a peach ring.
Yeah, it's like those are buttholes, bro.
Those are buttholes?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They taste like buttholes?
No, those are buttholes.
Oh, I get it, because they're peaches. Is that where you're going? Dude, I'm trying to understand the mind of Dan Watson over here.
I'm sorry. Like, yeah,
I'm not going to publicly admit if I've had butthole or not before.
All right, yeah. It takes longer to understand my mind, because I get stupid.
I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. Okay. Look, this conversation's been on for almost like 2 hours. Didn't realize it too. Dude, I absolutely appreciate you coming on for this. Like, getting to know you on a more personal level, and also like learning more about Enterprise Earth and Meyer Lore and stuff, and hearing that you're writing a full album has me fucking stoked, especially after that EP. But yeah, dude, if there's anything that I'm missing that you want to plug away.
Oh, just yeah.
the audio version on Spotify won't get it. You have a dog that looks like it's about to eat its butthole. Dog eating its butthole. That's what he wants to plug.
No, so it's like I was drawing like my butthole surgery earlier. I was trying to explain it to people, and so what happened was like I was drawing balls here.
Yeah.
Drawing balls there. And then I was like, yo, that's too graphic for kids. So I made it into a puppy. And I was like, yeah, that was a bad idea. Because like the legs were biceps already. Yeah, it was bad. So
dude,
my band's like, I want to plug Meyer Lore merch is coming. There's already some out, and then there's also CDs on the way, but we're working with who the fuck are we working with? Very absent-minded. Indie merch.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they do Canada stuff too. Do you?
Yeah.
Do you do? Okay, cool. that's a good thing because I haven't had that in the past. But yeah, we're doing indie merch for right now, and then I'm trying to find a place that will do European stuff. But for now, all the stuff that is being ordered through indie merch and stuff like that is going to directly support paying for the new Meyer Lore record, like production and stuff like that. So
nice. Okay, that's cool. So yeah,
yeah.
buy some merch.
Yeah. Also, too, it's like I need a new pimp coat. No, I'm just kidding. Like, yeah, I don't have any pimp coats.
Oh, well, dude. Okay, look, I'm going to end the podcast. I appreciate you coming on, bro. It was a good talk. But yeah, stay tuned for Meyer Lore and more stuff from Dan Watson. But
Fuck.
peace.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude.